Welcome back. So in the last video, we learned about how to simulate calls in Rehearse by creating these call blitz based scenarios, right? And how to associate scorecards with them, how to associate, objection sets, question sets, and buyer bots, etc. with scenarios so you can simulate a realistic auto dialer with Rehearse. So in this video, I just want to expand on a couple of things that happened in the last one so that you're not confused. The first thing that you probably saw, or probably the last thing that you saw in the last video, was where I was actually making the calls, right? And what's exciting about Rehearse is not only that the calls are evaluated at the end of the blitz. For example, here you can see the scorecards, questions, objections. They're also evaluated live when you're actually making the calls. For example, if I've associated these two scorecards in this scenario, when I do the call blitz, right, when I actually dial someone, you can see.
Hey, this is George.
Hey, George, do you have 30 seconds? I'm calling from a company called DataWiz.
Yeah, DataWiz. What are you selling?
We are basically a B2B data prospecting platform, kind of similar to ZoomInfo. Is that a priority right now?
Look, I know what ZoomInfo is. We already use Apollo, so what's the difference?
I'm just going to end the call blitz, but you can see that the scorecards are kind of evaluated live in front of you, right? So like, did the rep use a permission-based opener and all that, right? So you get a realistic, live feedback. And then at the end of the call, we run a more advanced LLM to properly evaluate the calls. So live, it's a very lightweight LLM that does these things quickly. And at the end of the call, it evaluates the call in more detail. And it also tells you the reason of why the things were evaluated the way they were. Okay, so now having said that, this kind of gamifies the experience of the reps. The next thing that I want to go into a little bit in detail is how do you create the buyer bots, right? So in the last video, we quickly created buyer bots in bulk. And what we did was we just created a group, which was this. And if I click on the group, you will see all the buyer bots that we created. And the way that we did it was we just clicked create bots in bulk, next. And we just clicked here. And from my notes, so the way that we created was we just clicked here and I just went to my notes, right? And I just went here and I copy pasted a bunch of LinkedIn profiles like so, and I went here and I just pasted them. But in this video, I want to tell you how you can create bots one at a time. And the reason you would want to do that is you might want to customize each of these bots. So right now, when I paste all these bots, what Rehearse does is it just randomizes these bots based on the internal templates that we have. So all bots behave very different. Some are rude, some are nice, etc. Right? So it just works like that. But if I go back, you will see that there's also an option to create one bot at a time. And this gives you even more customization options because you're doing it one at a time. So Rehearse will show you all the templates that we have, and you can configure the bots according to how you want them to be. So let's do this. Let's create a single bot, and let's click next. And here you have the option of creating this completely from scratch. Like if I click this and click next, you'll be able to choose a profile picture. You'll be able to put in the name, the gender, ethnicity, etc., job title, and details of the company description, etc. This is not something that I recommend you to do unless you have some specific use case. But if I go back, you can also create a bot from a single LinkedIn profile. That's what we're going to do. So let's click here. Let's click next. And here, I'm just going to go back to my notes and just copy one of these profiles. So I'm just going to click, copy, go back, click here, paste, and click clone. And you will see how cool this is. It's going to scan through the profile, and it's going to show you that, yeah, it's Erica. She's the head of business development at Comply Advantage, and it's verified. So it has properly scanned the profile. And just below this, you'll be able to see all the cold personas that you can customize these bots with a little bit of the description of what these are. It's like all sorts of things, false hope giver, information hoarder, overwhelmed, hostile. You can also customize it to just hang up the moment they pick up, right? So let's say I do one of these. And by the way, we also have warm personas. For example, if you're trying to simulate discovery calls, etc., you've got all these covered for you. Let me go back to the cold call and let me click the immediate hang up. Create bot. And if you wait for some time, obviously, we're creating this within the same group, so it's going to be a duplicate bot, which is allowed in Rehearse, but it can get somewhat confusing because you can't see what you customize the bot with. So ideally, what you would do is create a new group if you want duplicate bots, and within that new group, you create the single bots. But anyway, this is how it looks like, and then you can just dial it and just test it out. So when you dial it here, by the way, it's not going to show up in the call logs because it's just for testing purpose. And then you can go ahead and also delete the bot if you'd like, and the bot goes away. So these are the two things that I just wanted to expand on a little bit so that you know how to create buyer bots and how to customize them if you like, and how to also create them in bulk. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about assessments. What are the best practices when it comes to creating scorecards? What are the best practices when it comes to creating objections and questions, and how to put in additional evaluation criteria once you create the questions in bulk. Once you create the objections in bulk, how do you customize them even more so that they are completed or marked complete at exactly when the thing that you expect to happens in the call. Okay, so yeah, again, looking forward to see you in the next video, and I'm super excited for you to try out Rehearse for your team.